best advice you've gotten so far on the field and best advice you've gotten off the field?
I would say on the field, I would just say just the older guys that are in the wide receiver room at the Seahawks, like Tyler Lockett and DK. They just said be comfortable with making mistakes because we play an imperfect game, and especially at wide receiver, we do a lot of imperfect things. So they just said just get comfortable with making mistakes, and then obviously just don't repeat the mistakes.
Right on. And I wanted to ask you as well about your Senior Bowl experiences. I know, sometimes players have considered opting out of it. What did the Senior Bowl possibly do for you, and how was that experience? Do you think it helped with your draft stock as well?
Yeah, I think the Senior Bowl was the best thing to happen to me when it comes to the process of me getting drafted. Because when I got there, I was pretty much a no-name guy. Everybody knew I was kind of fast and could do special teams, but no one really knew what type of dynamic player I was. So I felt like once I got to the Senior Bowl, my mindset was just go in and dominate, and that's what I did, and I felt like it woke a lot of people up and then allowed me to go second round like I did, which is really, truly a blessing.
Right on. And coming from Western Michigan, as the quote unquote smaller schools, is it an extra chip at all?
Yeah, I would definitely say so because I was hungry. It was definitely a chip on my shoulder that was enormous. Everything I went into it like whoever's in front of me is trying to take away from anything that I'm trying to do. So, it was just my mentality was a lot different, obviously, and it stayed in the league as well. So.
And can you take me back to that draft call moment? What was that like, from the Seahawks? What was that like?
It was actually a different type of feeling than what I expected. I expected myself to be emotional. I was around my family and the closest people to me in my life. So I expected to be emotional, be able to live in the moment. But the first thing that I thought of was like, it's time to go to work. Like whoever did the Seahawks, they just put the money within me. I'm ready to prove them right instead of proving anybody wrong.
Right on. And year one is in the books. How do you feel about year one, and what excites you most about year two?
I would say the year one was also one of the better things that happened to me just because of how terrible it was when it came to the injuries, when it came to the things that was going outside of football that really no one knew about that I had to get through. So really it just put a lot of callus on my body to a point to where this was the worst way to start, and now it can only go up. And the way that I'm feeling now and the way that I'm aspiring to be this next year, it's a lot in store.
And what is it like to be teammates with such, really talented wide receivers in Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, and what have they meant to you so far in your career?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. Those are two great teachers, two of the best teachers, in two different type of ways, so I learned a little bit different from DK than I do Tyler, and obviously vice versa. So it's just a lot of opportunities to be able to grow myself as a player and just take a little bit from each one of them about their hardships, about the things that were hard for them, and obviously the great things that they've done to just apply to myself in my own way.
Does DK's speed ever amaze you? And I know, we had the huge viral clip of him making the tackle against Arizona. Does that ever amaze you?
Yeah, it's different. That's a huge human being to be able to move like that. That's more so for the guys like me to be able to be explosive in that type of nature. So yeah, it's always he's a true specimen.
All right, and I'll wrap up here with a couple of Western Michigan ones for you. Do you have a favorite memory at Western Michigan?
A favorite memory? I would definitely say winning the MAC championship. That was obviously I think the second time in school history. Just being able to see the fruit of all the labor and all the hard work that we put into that year. And to be able to celebrate with rings on our fingers. That's something I'll never forget. And
I asked Sky what matchup or team he's really looking forward to seeing in the NFL, and he can't wait to play against you.
Yeah.
So, was there a moment for you where someone you really wanted to match up against or play against, and what do you think about that when you'll get to play the Kansas City Chiefs as well?
Yeah, definitely. It's always competitive, especially in the wide-out room that me and Scott come from. You know, we all considered ourselves alphas. You know, the culture was real. So, you know, that's what I expect to hear from Scott when he says who is he looking forward to play, because that's exactly who I'm looking forward to play. You know, just being able to go out there, be on different teams now, and, you know, Scott, he's helped me in different ways that he may not be aware of, and I know I've helped him in ways that, you know, that have helped him get to that point. So, you know, us to be able to line up against each other and go war to war, you know, that's gonna be something that I truly cherish.
Really appreciate the time. Welcome to Dallas as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.